Hi there, I'm Will of the People, and I approve this message, and I bet you will too. Do you know that the U.S. Constitution is actually designed to subvert our freedom? Most people don't realize this. In fact, very few people do. But it's actually true, and you can see for yourself if you know where to look and look objectively. You know, on the face of it, the U.S. Constitution, the guys who wrote it were hypocrites. Because on one hand, they talked about all men are created equal, and then in the Constitution, they enslaved anyone who was not of European descent. That in and of itself shows what a bunch of hypocrites they were. Certainly not people to deify or idolize. Now, Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence, and in the preamble he described his definition of freedom and then wrote the key phrase that to secure these rights governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. Now, the powers of government are the laws that are enacted and enforced against us. But nowhere in the Constitution is there any provision for we the people to exercise our right to consent to any proposed laws. And that was the purpose for the American Revolution, to establish a government where we are free, and to secure our freedom we would be able to exercise our right to consent to any proposed laws. It wasn't about voting for politicians or judges. Now, Samuel Adams also signed the Declaration of Independence, and after he signed it, he wrote and said these words: "Nothing that we propose can pass into a law without your consent." That's very plain English. Yet again, when the Constitution was written by the Federalists, led by James Madison, our right to consent was omitted from the Constitution. It's that simple. Now, you might wonder, well, wait a minute, okay, it was omitted, but how did they dupe us? How did they dupe we the people? Well, they did it in the Bill of Rights, in the very first amendment, which reads, "Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances." It is actually in the First Amendment where they managed to dupe we the people. And most people have never caught this or understood it. The right to petition is a fake right. It's meaningless. It's a right to beg, plead, and whine and complain. There's no power in petitioning. All petitions are toilet paper for politicians and judges because they ignore them. The right to consent, however, is far different. Exercising our right to consent to any proposed law or any laws enacted and enforced against us is our power, and we the people are the ultimate check and balance. That's true governing by the consent of the governed. Now think about it. Would we the people do like our politicians and judges and enable bankers to rip us off, or corporations to rape, pillage, and plunder us and our environment, our health, and any other issues you care to think of? Of course not. We wouldn't allow corporations to export our jobs and industries and leave millions of people destined to be unemployed and homeless. That's what politicians do. Politicians take bribes, and then with their cohorts they proceed to rape, pillage, and plunder every nation they've ever governed. And it's actually possible to have a government without politicians, and to establish a system where we the people can overrule the judges. Now, if you like this idea and it appeals to you, then you can find more information by going to the website RighttoConsent.com. I'm just talking about some ideas in one chapter in this little book I'm holding in my hand, and there are 12 chapters in it. If you like what you're learning in this video, click on the yellow subscribe button on your computer screen and send the link to all your friends. When we the people wake up and realize how our Constitution subverts our right to secure our freedom, peace, and safety, and then see the remedy for how we can take our country back, we'll take it back. And the politicians and judges who are raping, pillaging, and plundering us will hit the road. I'm Will of the People, and I approve this message, and I bet you do too.